Hi everybody, Keith here. So, stories from the stage. I suppose after 30 years of doing what I'm doing, I have spoken at all sorts of events in front of all sorts of audiences, but you'll never forget your first. And so my first was I did a conference, one day conference for Conrad Jupiters. And that came about because a mate of mine was a sales analyst there, and he said he was put in charge to organise the conference. And he said, could you do something on goal setting? I said, yeah, I can do that. Can you do something on teamwork? Yeah. Can you do something on sales? Yeah, I can do that. And so I put together this one day workshop, put a proposal together. It took me about 7 hours to put a proposal together, sent it off to him. And in actual fact, I said to him, look, I'm happy to do this for free because I'm really like just starting out and I don't really, he said, no, we have to pay you. And so there was I tried to work out how I'm going to be paid. And so we had some consultants in at Suncorp at the time, and I knew what they were getting paid. And I thought, well, I'm half as good as them, so I'm going to charge half that price. And so that's how I came up with the pricing model. And so sent him off to propose. He said, I love it. It's great. And I said, wonderful. He said, but look, you're going to have to come and talk to my boss about it and convince him. And I went, okay. So I jumped in the car and, as I said, Conrad Jupiter is now known as Star Casino down the Gold Coast. And jumped in the car, went down there. And this has never happened since for 30 years. He went through line by line by line of the proposal. The meeting went for 90 minutes. And he said, this team building activity here, what questions then are you going to ask, to debrief it? I'm going, well, I'd probably ask this and this. And he questioned everything. And then at the end of it, he said, okay, we're going to go ahead with it. He said, but it's not coming out of my budget. You've got to go and talk to the head of HR because it's coming out of their budget. And I went, wow, do I have to do this again? So I went down, met this lovely lady, Alison Day, went and met her, and we had a great conversation. She said, well, what else can you do for us? And that was my very first client 30 years ago. And I'm glad I didn't get put off by the 90-minute grilling to convince them to use me. So, tenacity wins every race. Hey, thanks for watching. Bye now.